I can promise you that this will be the only offer creation video you'll ever need. I just did a masterclass in my free community in the description, and I got really good feedback on this one. So watch it in full, enjoy it, take away the things you need to build insane offers, build your agency as fast as possible, and get it running. Enjoy the video. All right, so if you guys don't know me, I'm Joe. I built a real estate agency in the last year to 40 grand a month, and I co-founded this community that you're joining right here in this Zoom call you're on. This community has 6,000 people ish in it. A co-founder here, so done a lot of stuff with agency owners. I work with a lot of agency owners right now with this leverage acquisition company. So I'm going to be sharing what has worked for me in the beginning of my agency with offers, and also what has worked with the other guys I'm working with right now. So this is off of over 40 people I've worked with agencies, working right now, actively working with them, right? So let's talk about kind of an unconventional note that not a lot of people are going to talk to you about. So a lot of people have read $100 million offers by Alex Ramosi, right? And they take it as this type of Bible thing. And they think they can read that book and implement everything that is in there, and they just sign clients, they charge 3 grand, and then they deliver on the service afterward, right? So that's kind of the common perception of what goes on when you're talking about offers. So the more I dove into the agency game, the more I realized this was pretty fundamentally not wrong, but there's different types of offers for each level of an agency owner. Okay, so you cannot, as a beginner, make offers like an advanced agency owner. So if you want to, let's say, carry the narrative further of I got burned by an agency owner before, or an agency before, when you're talking to local businesses, this is the perfect way to do it. You charge high ticket prices, you rip clients off, and you just churn and burn your agency over and over and over and over. This is kind of what people do. And it ends up with agencies having a really bad perception around, let's say charging high ticket and then not doing a good job on service delivery. David said it's cool. Yes, it's a good book if that's what you're talking about. But a lot of the time they take that and they go, let's make a promise that is so bold and so insane, and then let's back it up with a 3 grand price tag. That's what they do often. Okay. So that's what presentation. Cool. Perfect. Thanks, David. So I'm going to show you today the way you can make offers ethically. You can have happy clients in the process, and you accumulate dozens of testimonials. So this is our aim with the presentation today, okay? So what this formula I'm going to show you does is you make a bit less money today with a whole lot more money later. So this is how we should be positioning ourselves as a beginner agency owner, okay? And I'm going to be talking about why that is. And this is known as delaying gratification, right? It's putting in the work now, and then you have more returns later than you do at this moment. And what you do by delaying gratification is you make a crap ton more money in the process of doing it this way. And you leave your competitors in the dust who really just want to charge 5 grand up front for service as a beginner. And what they do is exactly what I just told you, and churn and burn their clients over and over and over. Okay. So there's 2 fundamentals in offer creation that we need to talk about. Okay. Presenting your offer to prospects. Okay, so this is going to be any cold message. This is going to be any advertisement, any cold DM. This is what presenting the offer would be. Okay, so all over your outreach, all that stuff. Secondly, the pricing of the offer. So you'll only use this for pricing when you're on the sales call with the prospect and you're walking them through your offer in full. So you're never, as I hope you guys know, even as beginners, you're never going to tell the price to a person on a cold DM. This is an objection. It's not a question. It's just an objection to them booking. And your price should be done on the sales call. Should be selling them on the price on the sales call and not anywhere else. Okay, so I hope that's straightforward. So with these concepts, there's a saying that goes, I'm not going to hand you the fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish. So I'm not going to hand you a universal one-size-fits-all offer to you today. I'm going to give you the philosophy on how to create those offers that work. Because guess what would happen if I all gave you an offer and I told my whole audience in the community of 6K people to use an offer? That would be known as getting it saturated. That's what happens when every single person in the market uses an offer, and it just Doesn't work anymore after I tell 6,000 people to do it, right? So that doesn't work. So each niche has different conditions, and at all times, they're completely different types of people. These are what we call avatars. So it's a specific type of person who we're targeting. And if you're a beginner and you're just hopping this call, like I don't even know what an agency is or anything like that, you need to niche down into a specific group of people, right? So a narrow group of people. This is hardscapers. This is real estate. This is the gym niche. These are just specific types of people that we need to niche down and hit, right? So if any of you are over 3 clients, you're probably going to know this. But for those of you who don't, this is the way to do it, right? So if I told you to charge a universal $2,000 a month retainer, many of you would get off this masterclass going 0 and 30 in sales calls because you don't have case studies yet. You don't have clients to actually show these people you're on a call with. You're actually working with them and getting them great results, right? So you just can't have a one size fits all offer. I just want to preface all of this with that. And it's super, super wary of anybody who says there's a one size fits all offer. And I took that advice in the beginning. It's just something that would not recommend doing at all. Okay. So firstly, let's break down messaging your offer, and then we're going to get into pricing your offer. So there's two main reasons why people want to buy something or take action in general, right? You can even generalize this to anything we want to do. It's going to come down to two reasons. One, to get closer to a desired situation. So we want to get closer to something we desire. That is, period, what we often do on a day-to-day basis. This is also what we do on sales. Okay, so if you've ever heard the thing selling the dream, right? We're selling a destination. That's what we're doing. Secondly, which is maybe a stronger motivated, it's actually debated that moving away from something is a stronger motivation. But with that aside, two reasons: it's getting closer to something and farther away from something. Okay, so that's why people are buying something in the first place. This is the basis of all sales. So what we want to do is establish where they are now and then contrast that with where they can go with our solution that we're actually showing them. Okay. So with this being said, when we're making offers, we're going to create it based off of the desired situation, right? So I just told you they want to get closer to a desired situation. So what we have to do is create a promise to them that we will bring them from where they are now to where they want to go. That's what a promise is. That's what a dream outcome is, really. Okay. So we're going to create it off their desired situation. I have a question for you guys in chat. Okay. So I would love for you guys to answer this in chat. It's just something that should be quite simple, but I want to make sure you guys know it. Question: what do you think businesses want most when they're investing into an agency? So just type in chat what you think this would be. Okay. If you can. Confidence in their ability to perform, trust that you'll deliver, close clients, the actual result. They want the outcome. Okay. But what is always the outcome? Can we break that down further? And I'm giving you a hint towards the answer. What is the outcome? Revenue. Okay. Their money. Okay. So 100%. So somewhat more clients, somewhat more time, right? So there's a lot of people that want to free up time, but the main thing is they just want more money in their bank account. Okay, that's just why would you hire an agency? Okay, they run ads. Okay, they save you time. But what's the end result of all of it? And that's going to be just getting more money in their damn bank account every single time. All right, so what we're not going to do is create a dream outcome that says we're going to run your Facebook ads. That's just something we're not going to do. And it's also, we're not going to bring you leads. Right? And even if you're promising leads, you always sell to them. What do those leads turn into? Right? Because we're taking this a step further. We need to relate it to their core desire every single time, no matter what. We need to dig further and ask, why do they want that? Why do they want that? Why do they want that? All right. So the main answer to this is going to be making money. Okay. So this is the real reason people invest into an agency in the first place. And it's not as complicated as people think. They come up with these, we're going to promise leads. We're going to run Facebook ads. We're going to click buttons on the screen. We're going to save you time. But the main reason is they don't know how to make money, and they need to outsource it to somebody who actually does know how to make them money, right? Okay. So how do we align our offer with this desire as clearly as possible? This is a question, right? So this is a typical sales process. for nearly any local business. This is going to be usually what it is. It goes one, a lead comes in the door. So it's an interested person. They put their name and phone number and email on this. That's what they opted into. Okay. Next, they contact them to push it a step further, to either meet with them in person or do a virtual appointment on Zoom like this, right? So you're getting prospects on sales calls, either in person or Zoom. Your clients, if you're a local business, are often going to be doing it in person. But all this comes down to is making the sale, right? Hint, 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 hint. These are the three things you can charge for because they're in every single sales process. So if you need to charge for something on a performance basis, again, this is going to be covered in a second, but these are the three steps we can charge. Okay. So clearly the sale is the clearest to them making money, the closest. If you promise leads, the objection will be, how do I know the lead will actually become a deal? Secondly, you're promising leads, but there's no promise I will make my money back. So there's the objection for you. It's like, okay, you can get me 20 leads, but what if they're unqualified? What if they don't convert? What if they all become appointments and I can't sell them? Okay. So this is just the fundamental thing they're going to come up with when you ever try to promise leads. And even if you promise appointments, this is also what they're going to come up with. It's like, how do I know I can close these appointments? How do I know these aren't fake? Like, how do I know they're qualified? Whatever it is. Okay. So this is clearly an issue because any promise before a deal is not aligned to their desire, what we just spoke of making money. So don't promise leads as a dream outcome or anything far away from them making money. As a general principle, the closer you are to promising something that makes them money tangibly, like you can say, I'm going to get you 3 deals and that's going to make you 40K and you're spending 3 grand in ads for 3 months. Who wouldn't take that, right? That's over a 10x as an example, right? Cool. So I just want to say 2 more things here, kind of talking around the point a little bit, but the fundamental thing in business, and this is just a simple equation that many people don't even think of, is putting $1 in and getting $10 out. So it's they invest 1,000 into you and they get 5 grand back. It's they invest 1,000 into you and they get 10 grand back. And the farther that discrepancy is between how much they invested, between how much they get back from what they're investing into, the happier they will be with your service. Okay? So then you ask, which is just another point, how do you bring that number up? And it's getting better at service delivery. Which, again, we've done a masterclass in service delivery before, but maybe we'll do one again. I don't know. But that's going to be just simply getting better at service delivery. That's going to be the next thing, right? This comes really close as well as a side note to what we call sell the ends and not the means. If you ever go on a vacation, or let's say you book that trip to Florida, you book that trip to Greece or whatever, you're not going to sell the flight. You're not going to sell the layovers you get before the trip. You're not going to sell anything like that. You're going to sell the beach. You're going to sell the food. You're going to sell the destination every single time. So when you're selling, and I made a mistake on this when I was starting out as an agency owner too. So this is something I did. I would just explain to them what I do. It's like, yeah, we'll launch your Facebook ads within 3 days. We'll have leads coming in within 3 days. And yeah, this is going to save you a lot of time. But I would never like tell them the money they're going to make when the whole fundamental thing with an agency is just putting $1 in, getting 10 back, right? Okay. So that's the fundamental thing. Time delay. So the amount of time, this is pretty simple. This is pretty obvious, but like if you have a shorter time delay than the person who has like a 30-day versus 60-day, you're going to go with the person promising the 30-day. This is what's going to go on. Okay. So they're going to pick 30 days every single time. This is something to account for when you're a beginner. There is something else too as well, which is you need time to learn. Okay. So we're not going to all be perfect. We're not like this magical hero that steps in as an agency owner and doesn't make any mistake ever. It's like, no, like you are going to make mistakes on service delivery the first time you get a client. So all of you like who don't have a client yet, just like give yourself the expectation that you might make a few mistakes. Really. Like you're going to have a billing issue on Facebook ads. Your client can't pay on time. You don't know how to set this ad up. This ad creative went wrong. It didn't upload properly and you've been running ads for 3 days and you did a wrong budget. Whatever it is, you're going to make these mistakes. So when you're doing anything for the first time, there's a learning curve. So give yourself time to learn. Don't give yourself 30 days to get them a 50K deal. Don't go like, hey, look, I can get you a 50K deal within 30 days. If you're a beginner, you've never done it before, it's like really, really, really risky, and it's just something I would not recommend to do. So give yourself like a 60 to 90 day time frame. Okay. So I know that time delay always needs to be shorter to sell it better. The ease of sale, the smaller time delay, the better it is. But at the same time, we want to give ourselves time to learn and actually get things properly right. So that's why I'd recommend anywhere from 60 to 90 day time frames. These are kind of my favorite time frames as a beginner that I like doing because it actually gives yourself that time to learn. Right. So don't give your don't be lazy and give yourself like 6 months when it really should take three. So I'm not saying like triple the time delay because you're a beginner. I'm just saying like give yourself 60, 90 days instead of 30. That's all I'm saying. Right. Because you need to actually push yourself, and business is a game of pressure. Right. So if you give yourself a shorter time delay, you're going to make that work somehow, and you'll work your butt off to do that. Okay. Next is the risk reversal, which is going to be something that activates when you don't fulfill that promise that you set out to achieve, right? So this could be something like if you don't get the 3 deals you promised within the 90 days that you have, you're going to have a guarantee, something like this. All right. So what I've done is I put stars next to the guarantees I like. So these are my favorite guarantees right here, which is just a simple refund. Just a simple refund, okay? So if you don't get them that and they put an initial investment in your program or they have any investment, just refund it. Like just simply refund it. Okay? So they don't hit outcome, refund the payment that they made you. Secondly, working for free. This is great, which is basically if you're running ads for them, which I hope a majority of you are doing lead gen through paid advertising for clients, just simply pay for their advertising spend after the time frame you promised. Okay, so let's say you have 90-day time frame, you didn't hit it, and you're at like 88 days, and you're down by a deal. You'll probably have to pay for that ad spend after the 90 days, and you'll just pay for it until you get them that third deal, as an example. Okay, so this is also good. It's just reducing the amount of risk that is in your program that you're offering them. And these are some optional ones. I like the top two, but these work as well. Right, so just pay them for the time spent on calls or working with you. Okay, plus refund the ad spend if the campaign doesn't generate what you promised. Next one is delayed payment. Okay, so if you're doing, let's say you're promising a third deal, just don't charge them the fee you're charging next until you get them your promise. So that's also another one, right? But I just prefer the top two because they're simple. People understand it better. People are very familiar with full refunds, and they work extremely well in advertising and in the sales call itself, right? So you need to come up with a offer that has a win-win situation, such as this one right here. So let's say we're using the full refund guarantee as an example. You don't hit the guarantee, and you hit the guarantee and you get them that outcome in 90 days, right? So you actually hit that outcome that you promised. So that's one option. The other option is you fail and you don't hit it. Okay. So you don't hit the guarantee and you get fully refunded plus all of the deals that our team brought you. Okay. So that's another one. So it's a win-win situation. That's really what it is. That's what we want to aim for. So it's a simple decision in someone's brain, and they're literally better off signing into your program in either option. So even if they, let's say, get the worst result possible from your program, this is what we want to aim for, that they should take the step no matter what. This is kind of what we want to aim for. Next is perceived effort. And this is something that is less conventional. So you might have heard the things I'm talking about so far. These are some extra things you need to think about when you're creating offers. So how much more pain or struggle can I take off my prospect's shoulders relating to our service? Okay. So as an example, you have to set up the CRM yourself. You have to track the leads yourself and report to me how many you have in total. You have to qualify the leads we bring you. These are all common things that might happen when you're working with a client, and they get annoyed at these things. It takes a lot of their time. Okay. This is also what happens. So what we can do is identify all of the problems that may arise beforehand. Before you sign clients, you go, what problems will they have and will be major annoyances when they sign on? And it's just time wasting things that we can just remove from their plate. And the question is like, can you do it yourself or can you automate it? These are the two main things. And if you're an advanced agency owner and you have the capital to hire somebody or even a VA to automate these things, you can also do that. Just think of a way that you can do to remove things off your prospect's shoulders. Okay. And I am probably 25 minutes in. I want to get to a Q&A, so we will actually probably try to speed this up a little bit. Pricing the offer. Okay. So the premise of this offer pricing section is that you're likely below 5K a month with minimal to zero testimonials. And I kind of assumed this when I was doing this call. And this is a scenario that most people are in. And the fundamental idea on pricing your offer should come down to niche research. Okay. So if you do not know your market in and out completely, this is a great way to understand what your clients are doing, how they charge, and how you should charge. Because if you're like charging $3,000 a month and your clients aren't going to make that back because they have low ticket sizes, then you just have a really bad offer off the bat. And that's because you didn't do your niche research. Okay. So action step for you is to understand how much profit bare minimum that your clients are going to make per deal you bring them. Okay. So, and again, like you can use ChatGPT for this. Like you absolutely can. It can search the web, but sometimes it makes mistakes. So make sure to double check it on other websites and all this stuff. But if you just simply ask ChatGPT, like how much on average does a Canadian real estate agent make on a deal in Toronto? It'll give you a pretty damn accurate price. That's like pretty good. So if you do that for your niche, you'll get a pretty good accurate price right away. So I've developed the principle. And this is, again, working with 50 agency owners and also running mine. You need to at least make a 5x ROI on whatever they're paying you. Okay. So again, it's coming back to the philosophy we came to before, which is you put $1 in a system and you get 5 back. That's what they should be doing with you. Okay. So that's what I call the golden zone. Like if you're in a 5x, they're going to stay with you and they're going to like you a lot. They're just really going to like you. If you're anything less than this, you become very close to what I call the danger zone. Okay. And this is what I label as 0x, 1x, or 2x ROI. So that's return on investment. If you're in those numbers, you're on edge with clients at all the damn time. Okay. So your interactions will be less happy. They will be less joyful because they're like, oh, this guy's not even making me money. Why am I working with him? 2, any mistake that you make, they're going to find a reason to cancel. Okay. And even if you're making them like 2x, they're like, is this guy even doing a good enough job? Why don't I just go with that other agency who's also cold messaging me every single day? Why don't I just go with them? Okay. And that's what usually happens. So as an example, if you calculate the profit, so notice how these two come together here. If you would get the profit per deal in your niche and you want to make a 5x return, okay, let's say the profit is 10K per deal that you bring this person. You're just going to charge $2,000 per deal you bring them. 5x return. That's a killer performance offer. Okay. And it's unbelievably simple, yet works really, really, really well. So this is probably one of my favorite ways to calculate a performance offer. And it's just simply taking the profit and dividing by 5. Like that's the most simple, stupid method I've ever seen. And it works really, really well. Okay. So I'm going to quickly talk to you about upfront fees and performance fees. So with minimal testimonials, which is most of you probably in this call, with less social proof, prospects' trust on you will naturally be low. And we need to accommodate this by 1, lowering upfront fees, making it easier for them to get in your program. Okay. So you're not going to charge $5,000. And I wouldn't even say charge $2,000. You're going to have a low one-time upfront fee. What you're going to do is rely more on performance fees, like I just walked you through. So you can charge per deal instead of taking all the money up front because they don't trust you yet. 3, admitting on sales calls that we're a small company. This is unconventional. Okay. So every agency guru in the world is probably going to tell you like, you need to fake that you're a big company and know what you're doing. Okay. And I understand the philosophy. It's like like this person wants to believe in us. And I understand that. Okay. But guess what? We can turn the tables a little bit by stating we're a small company. We can actually do that. So we can go, yeah, we're a small company. We actually are. And that's why all the risk here is on me because my reputation is on the line. So I am going to work my butt off to get that outcome for you because I'm a small company and I need testimonials and I want to grow quick. And I want to work 24/7 for you in order to make that happen. So notice how like you can go with the faking the big company and like, oh, I'm gonna fake this, I'm gonna fake that. Or you just go like, yeah, I am a small company, but look, these are the reasons you want to go with me over that big company. And no, you don't have to charge like this forever. So like you don't have to lower upfront fees and just rely all on performance fees. No, you don't have to do that. But guess what? What we're trying to do is accumulate testimonials and proof that we are what we say we are. Okay? So you can charge significantly more money upfront, but gradually. It's basically this thing where like as social proof goes up, upfront fees go up. Okay? So it's like they're congruent. It's something you could just keep incrementally creeping up every single time you get a testimonial. And that's really what it is. And the upfront fee often just comes down to one, your sales ability, and two, trust in you as a company. That's really what it is. If you try to charge 5 grand upfront as a beginner with zero social proof, unless you are the best salesman on the planet and you're like a 1% person on the earth, it will go 0 and 50 in sales calls. So you just won't close anybody if you try to charge upfront like that. Okay. So I'm going to give you two offers here. This is like something I would do. So it would be like a $400 setup fee. And if you're charging per appointment, which you're like, Joe, I don't want to do per deal, XYZ reason. I don't want to charge per deal, whatever it is. You can do a appointment fee such as this. Okay. And then 3 would be the advertising spend per client. So that would be the third option, which is like the $30 a day to Facebook for lead gen. The second example offer would be something like 200 upfront fee and then like per close deal. And again, like this setup fee doesn't have to be 200 or 400. Like it could be anywhere from 200 to 800. It's just like when you're going over like 1K, 1.5K is an upfront fee one time, you get put in this box as, look, big company. Okay. So like if you don't have testimonials and you're charging that much, you just get grouped into them. So if you want to rely on the narrative that you're a small company and that's why you don't go with big companies, all the risk is on me. If you want to go with that narrative, then go with the lower upfront fee price, like performance fee. That's what you should do. Okay. And then the per close deal, the advertising spend paid by client. Same thing. All right. So this all makes sense, everybody? I'll look in the chat real quick. This all makes sense. Good, good, good. We are all good. All right. All right. So I hope that is all good. All right, everybody. All right. Now for the guys in here who are like, Joe, I'm just gonna give you the option that we'll dive into Q&A. We're like, I want to work with you further or anything like that. If you can grow my agency, that'd be great. I have a bunch of case studies right here of agency owners just like you guys who I've joined forces with and we have got insane results for. So can you guys see my screen here? Yeah, you can. So like David right here, 16 grand a month. Michael, 4 grand a month, 2 weeks. Milosh, 9 grand a month. This guy signed his first client within 4 days. Do you guys want to join forces with me and grow an agency with me? It is open right now. We have slots available. So if you would like to join forces, again, I have an offer here for you. We're rated 5 stars on Trustpilot, and we've never had to activate our guarantee right here, which is literally 10 high ticket agency clients in 6 months. And if I don't get this for you, you won't pay me a dollar. And as an apology, I fully work with you one-on-one as a bonus till you get those clients. And this is worth 6 grand because they used to charge us for like a mentorship. So like if you don't get that result, you don't pay anything. And I pay you basically 6 grand. And again, like even if you're like, Joe, like I hate being pitched, screw this guy. Notice what I did with my offer. Okay. So like just like bear with me for a second. I have a dream outcome, which is 10 clients right here. Okay. I have a time frame of 6 months. So that's a time frame. And then there's a risk reversal, which is a full refund plus even one-on-one coaching. So that's a bonus on a refund. Okay. So that's how that would work. And then again, notice how I'm stacking my social proof. This is exactly what you should do for your agency. You just go, look at all these guys, look at all these people. We're rated 5 stars on Trustpilot, 100% 5-star reviews, and then you just spam social proof. Yeah, okay, so we have 22 people. I don't know if unmuting is the best play here, everybody, because it's just going to be a chaos pit. So, I mean, if you can put your question in the chat for me, I can just quickly go through them all. I think this would probably be the best way to do it. I hope that works. Oscar has a question. Along with your offer, adding value to upsell with resources like free scripts worth XY, free bonus scripts. Yeah. But where's the best place to get these materials with no clients? Okay, so my first answer is this is going to be the minimizing efforts on their side. So this is probably what you're getting at. This just comes with a crap ton of niche research. Okay. So what you have to do, as an example, if you're doing a sales script for that niche, you are just going to simply just read as many articles as you can, look at all the best sales techniques, even like your agency sales techniques, like building pain and playing on their desires, like we just talked about, everything like that. Then in that case, simply research the heck out of that. And you can simply develop a super solid sales system for that type thing. Okay. So then you said free bonus. Yep, that super effective, worth XYZ. And then again, like I just did, price stack it. Okay, so I'm just kind of revealing my secrets here. So there you go, take it. But like, you have a bonus, and then you basically put a price alongside the bonus. So that's what you do. And basically, at the end of your agency sales process, you'll have like five bonuses. Then you'll have a price tag attached to it on the side. Then it'll be like $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and you just price stack it, and you keep doing that. But again, man, like it's just again, you have to be knowledgeable about this stuff. So read books, read articles, do your best to read everything you can, and that's how you can come up with those. And again, as you work with clients, you can get even more bonuses because you can basically go like, let's say you have a client named John. Hey, John, as an example, what are you doing? Like your sales are really, really good. Like out of these five clients, like John, your sales are insane. Like what are you doing? And then you just ask those guys. Okay. If that makes sense. Is there a link to your notes so I can read over to make a decision? Oh man, we have a lot of questions. Okay. Pavo. Yeah. So if you go into the challenge, the challenge in the kind of I think the classroom section of school, you can see my challenge there. You can go through that if you'd like. The third video has all my case studies and all of that, but also if you book the call I just sent, you'll have basically a pre-call video explaining everything that I just talked about and all the case studies we have. So if you want more info, that's the best way to do it. All right. My question is about cold emails as outreach to realtors. I assume that's what you're talking about. I have a lot of leads up to 1 million. Which emails would you recommend to send? Like which copy from your experience? Okay. Yeah. Hmm. So the one thing about real estate I've discovered is like very much prefer to do either cold calls or cold SMS to them because realtors are just like hands down the most responsive on phone. Like really, they're always on their phone and they're much, much less on email. All right. So basically, my first impression would be like just do cold calls and do cold SMS. Okay. But if you were to do a cold email, it's going to be doing the exact same offer stuff we just did. So you're going to have that offer, you're going to have the promise, you're going to have the time frame, you're going to have how there's no risk. And if you're a beginner, you simply state that everything is on a performance basis. Okay? So just everything's on a performance basis like we just talked about. And then you do CTH the call, you do your Calendly, if there's any qualification before that. Then you make sure, again, cold email, the best thing is going to be also a headline. So it has to be pattern disrupting. So make that attention grabbing. So that's probably going to be what I would do. But again, just for real estate, just go back to cold calls, cold SMS. That would be my number one idea. What I can't get past, one second, Christine. What I can't get past is the fact that I have no idea what I can get these clients for anybody when I've never run ads for anyone before. How can I be confident that I will be successful? Okay, completely understand. So firstly, that's why we work on a performance basis. So that's going to be basically taking the risk off their shoulders. And again, two, you are still using their ad spend money, which I understand. Basically, you have to research this down to the bone. What I would do is simply just go on YouTube, 1.5x speed, go through Facebook ads tutorials. Like as an example, if you're doing Facebook ads, just 1.5x speed, watch like take 12 hours of your week and just go through every single video. And again, like everybody's first client, they will never have done any ads before. So you're in a very similar situation to a lot of people, and it's mainly an education game. So it's educating yourself on the best strategies, educating yourself on what's actually going to convert, and even examples from other people. Another resource is going to be Facebook ads library. So Facebook ads library is where you can see all your competitors' ads. You can see what other agency ads people are running, and you can basically just see what is working right now. So if you're like, I have no idea how to do Facebook ads, just get inspiration from Facebook ads library as well. Okay. Hope that helps. Avi, I'm planning on doing a pay per results offer with zero upfront fee as I just want as much experience and testimonials as possible. Okay, yep. For client acquisition, I'm planning on running paid ads and upsell them in the future. Do you have any advice on my plan? So for six figures from somebody who's worked with many agencies getting to six figures, here's what you need, right? One offer, one sales process, one service. Just one. Like, don't even worry about upsells. Like, don't even give it a thought, really. So basically, what you do, Abby, is this is just my personal opinion, is you basically, as a first offer, you do no upfront fee, all on performance, right? So that's how you're going to make your money. You just do purely performance, right? To minimize the risk on their end. But what you do, Abby, as you get those case studies and as you get people getting amazing results, you don't even need an upsell because you increase your upfront price, okay? So just keep increasing that upfront price. And then you have one offer that you apply to every single person in the niche that gets you those customers. And you don't need to worry about any other offer at all. That's just going to be your main offer. Okay. So you can upsell them, but that's what like seven-figure companies do. That's what like masterminds do. They have one product and upsell the mastermind. You don't need an upsell right now. If you're just getting your agency off the ground, just focus on one offer and just incrementally increase the price on that offer. That's what I'd recommend. Just find someone who's solved this problem and pay them. Yep, learning from people above, it's fantastic, right? So like, just simply get as much information as possible. It's kind of like there's a saying that goes, you either pay with money or time. So there's two options. Like one, you can take a lot more time to learn everything yourself and make a lot more mistakes and all that stuff. Or two, you find someone above you who's actually done it and then you pay with time. Or sorry, pay with money, right? You pay with money. So that's kind of the way it's money or time. Okay. Do you think cold outreach works? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, cold outreach is fantastic. And the thing about cold outreach, I call these things hangout spots. So what I'm about to tell you is called hangout spots. For each niche, they're going to be on a separate platform. Okay. So I know gyms are on cold email. I know that realtors are on phone. I know that gyms cold looms work well. Like as an example, these are just different niches having different spots that they're hanging out at. And what you do is you do your niche research. Again, everything comes down to niche research. Do a crap ton of it, and you just find where they're hanging out at, and then you reach out to that place. That's just the most simple advice. It's kind of like people always say cold outreach is bad, but they just haven't found one where the niche is at, where they should be messaging them on what platform. Two, the offer to reach out to them with is probably bad. Kind of comes down to that in the messaging your offer. Again, it's just a cold outreach. It means sending a message to someone you don't know. So that means that your offer is bad, the place is wrong, or the message is wrong. Okay. And the offer and the message is going to be a very similar thing. Um, Lewis, what do you think about identifying an issue in your client's business, solving the issue possibly through automations or getting them more Google reviews or high level and selling this high level sub account to them for a monthly fee? Yeah, this really works, man. This actually does work. Um, I like doing an agency done for you, so doing everything for them and then giving it as a bonus, right? So then you're going to do a Google review campaign as a bonus. That's what we just talked about. Bonuses relieving effort so they don't have to do it. Do database reactivation, Google reviews. Now, what you would do in your sales process is put that price label next to it. Worth 999, worth 750, right? So you have this core offer, which is the agency services. Okay. Then you have these bonuses alongside it, and then you put price tags with the bonuses. And then now you just do a value stack so high that it's hard to say no to it. Um, yeah, but Lewis, like if you want to do the SaaS play and you sell like a high level sub, I've seen it done properly before, but I just rather not charge 119 a month for something and rather do like a 5K offer eventually. And you don't have to get as many clients whatsoever. You have less customer complaints. You deal with few clients at high ticket prices. That is my personal preference. What I would do. Okay. And I have Oscar. Have you ran YouTube ads previously? If so, do you have any ideas or sauce you can spill? Okay, so something I'm very familiar with is because that's my service is Google ads, Google display ads. So sauce with YouTube ads, I can help you the best I can. Okay. Um, I can take my advertising principles and probably apply it to Google ads for you. What I can say is for ad creatives, for like videos, okay, test 5 hooks, test 2 bodies. Okay. Hooks is the first 2 seconds of the ad, and the body is like explaining their offer, explaining everything that you're doing. And that's usually about 20 to 30 seconds. What you're going to do is just test the heck out of it. Like, I'm just going to give you general recommendations for everybody in here with advertising. It's just testing. That is just it. Okay. So test crap ton of hooks because hooks are the most important part of the ad. Then you have a body of the ad, which is important and it normally should be with social proof. So if you're running YouTube ads for a client, it should be a crap ton of social proof of previous projects they've done, explaining why this offer is better or that better than other offers that people have right now. In terms of targeting, it's niche dependent. Okay. So like you can target by niche. As an example, I'm in the real estate niche and I did Google ads for that. And I would just simply target with keywords. So keywords of people maybe searching for that specific topic. And I put in all the keywords and that was my targeting for a while. Okay. There's also a thing called interest targeting, which you can also do. You can do like real estate industry. And again, I'm just talking my experience. You just translate this into whatever niche you're in and you do that stuff. Um, I'm trying to think of what else I can help you with. It's mainly just the actual ad itself, okay? And it's also the offer you're making on the ad. So I hope that helped a bit, Oscar. If you have any, yeah, no, perfect. Thanks, Oscar. I hope that helps. Avi, final question. Yeah, no worries, man. For blue collar companies, I'm planning on spending a few $100s for ad spend. Do you recommend a real ad or image ad? For real, I might pay a spokesperson on Fiverr. Yeah, grateful for the call. Yeah, no worries, man. I'm glad this is helpful. I'm really glad this is helpful for you. Um, if you're not making 5 grand a month with an agency, for even 4 or 3 grand a month with an agency, Avi, I just recommend doing cold outreach, man. As painful as it is, just do cold outreach because one, significantly less expensive, insanely less expensive. Two, you don't know if that advertising that you're spending is actually going to convert into customers because if you're under 2 clients or 3 clients, you probably haven't done a lot of selling. So you haven't hopped on hundreds of sales calls and collected data on those sales calls and how much you're converting, right? So it all comes down to metrics here. You don't know how much of those booking calls, booked calls are actually going to convert into a paying client. So you need to know that rate before you run ads. Okay. Because you can spend $100, get 10 sales calls, not close one. The $100 went down the drain. Even worst case, $1,500 you spent, you didn't close one, all that money's down the drain. So you want a predictable system that you can go, I'm gonna book 10 calls and I'm gonna close two. That's what you want. So that's what I'd recommend. If you are like, screw you, Joe, I'm running ads. um, few $100s for ad spend. Do you recommend a real ads always work better? Man, I just recommend like have at least decent clothes on. At least look professional. Don't like have a really bad quality video. Test hooks, right? Like if you're going to run the ads, test the same advice I just gave him. You're going to have 5 to 10 hooks and you're going to use 2 or 3 bodies as an example. And just again, if you're spending a few $100, you probably have the budget to test more things. Um, that's going to be what I'd recommend, man. I hope that helped. But Abby, I just focus on cold outreach if I was you, to be honest. I'm having a fear of being sued for 1K ad spend. Were they pay for the meta ads, but you're doing pay and appointment offer full performance? Scared of this? Would they actually sue? Um, no, if you have a contract that clearly outlines the guidelines of what your agency offers, the terms of getting a full refund on whatever thing you're promising to refund, then you'd not get sued. And I highly doubt that they would sue for something for a grand. I don't think that. But like anyway, you wouldn't get sued or even think a thought about it if you signed a contract stating the terms of something. Okay? So if they want a refund, you have a contract to refer back to that they signed. So pay for appointment offer, full performance, scared of this. I'm not too sure why would that would relate to the pay and performance offer. Not too sure what you're talking about there actually, but yeah, they wouldn't sue. And if you have a contract and you set up ads properly and you learn enough, this will not be an issue for you. So you do Google ads rather than Facebook ads? Yes, for real estate, it's one of the exceptions where Google works sometimes better than Facebook. It's just the market moves. So this is also a thing with business, obviously, that like certain things work better at certain times. So Google is my thing. And it's also helpful because a lot of agencies in the real estate niche are just doing Facebook. So it gives me a competitive advantage when I'm selling people on it because they're like, oh, Google is different than the 10 Facebook agencies that pitched me today. So it's different. It's very different. But yeah, both, Christine, if you're thinking a service to offer, both work. But most local businesses are going to be doing better on Facebook generally. But for real estate, it's one of those different examples that might be better for Google Ads. Lewis, I work with kitchen and bathroom remodelers. I have 5 clients. Every time a lead comes in, I call them up myself and book them an appointment with the owner. However, this takes a lot of time. Okay. Yeah, Lewis is okay. So this is always a thing I talk to with agency owners. One option is going to be calling them yourself. Two is getting them to do everything. Okay, so here's the trade-offs. Two is getting them to do it. You don't have to call. The trade-off on that is it's a bit harder to sell. So it's again, it's the effort and sacrifice thing that we just talked about when we are creating the offer. If you were like, I'm even calling your leads for you, I'm booking them in, all this stuff, that's going to be easier to sell because less effort and sacrifice on their end, right? Hope that makes sense. But there's not a wrong answer to this. Okay, so there's going to be 10 agencies in the nation. Five are going to make them call the clients, and five aren't. So, like, this is completely dependent on the agency, and there's not a right or wrong answer. There's just trade-offs in either direction. Okay, but you can absolutely automate it so that the client calls them. It's just something you'd have to sell them on and set the expectation of when you're starting to work with them. So, so you have 5 clients. So yeah, I mean, you would just have to have a conversation with them about this. If you already have clients and you're calling them, it's going to be might be a bit of a difficult conversation to have with them. It's just something potentially that might be a bit difficult, but you can absolutely do it, man. Yeah. Or Lewis, like as an example, you can create an automation where like the the uh the business owner would be directed to take the call on Go High Level. So you can do that. You can direct phone calls, right? So that's something you can absolutely do. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate the free value. No problem, Lewis. I really appreciate it, man. Glad you enjoyed. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on. Just put it in the chat and talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys so much. See you later. Bye.